Katie, what a night out here. The Bucks are the NBA champs. Let that sink in. 65,000 people came down here and crowded into the Deer District. They are heading home happy, and they got a chance to witness some history. As you mentioned, the first NBA title for the Bucks since 1971, 50 years. That was a team that featured Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson, two guys, by the way, who were here at Fiserv Forum during this series. Now take a look. You can see things are thinning out a bit right now, but for most of the night, this has been wall-to-wall packed. Just a sea of Bucks fans out here, streets closed off in the area, police and the Wisconsin State Patrol standing by to keep things under control. And for the most part, it was a very orderly night. The Deer District has been the scene of massive gatherings every night. Again, 65,000 people were here tonight after the Bucks increased attendance from 25,000 to 65,000. You know, I've covered a lot of sporting events over the years, and I was trying to figure out what I could compare this crowd here in the Deer District to, and I thought back to the 2004 World Series when the Red Sox won, and the area around Fenway Park and the Fenway area was filled with thousands and thousands of fans. And of course, Katie, the party is just starting right now. Everybody is heading out to the bars and restaurants nearby. The Bucks are the NBA champs. We heard the Bucks in 6 chants, and that actually came true. Live in Milwaukee, I'm George Smith. Let's go back to the studio.
The jury's decision sparked an array of emotions from people across the state. Tonight, we have team coverage in Kenosha and Madison. First to George Smith in Kenosha. George?
Well, Amber, things had been quiet for most of the night here in Kenosha. You might remember at 6 o'clock, almost nobody was out here, but that has changed in the last hour. Let me step out the way and you can take a look. Some people have been gathering over there for the last hour or so. In fact, about 30 minutes ago, people started arguing with each other. All of a sudden, police cars pulled up. They took a woman into custody, handcuffed her. She was actually from Madison. They took her away in a squad car. I know she was from Madison because I just happened to talk to her about 10 minutes before they took her into custody. She told me she was a medic and an activist. We don't know why she was taken into custody. In any case, the jury returned its verdict early this afternoon. There were hundreds of people out here on the steps of the Kenosha County Courthouse. We did hear some cheers and also some groans when that verdict came in. And there was lots of shouting then back and forth between people supporting Rittenhouse and people who wanted him to be convicted. We spoke to Jacob Blake's uncle after the verdict. A police officer shot Jacob Blake last summer. That led to unrest, and Kyle Rittenhouse came to Kenosha during that unrest. We also talked to Mark McCloskey. He's a big Rittenhouse supporter. He was in the national spotlight last summer when he and his wife waved guns at protesters outside of St. Louis. How surprised were you by this verdict?
It was terrible, brother. We're very much surprised. We're deeply hurt. We're not just hurt for our family, for Anthony JoJo's family, and Dane. I'm hurt for this nation. It showed who it really is. Between my nephew and this case, they showed who America really is.
Very pleased with the verdict. I think it's a great day for America, a great day for the Second Amendment, obviously a good day for Kyle Rittenhouse, and we just couldn't be more pleased.
Now, Kyle Rittenhouse's attorney said that the teenager went home after the verdict. The attorney also said that he hopes that Kyle keeps a low profile now that this case is over. AJ Bayatpour has been with us all week in Kenosha. He has more reaction from this story, from this community on this story. AJ. All right, AJ, thank you very much. And again, people are back out here tonight, but things at the moment are relatively calm. I can see several law enforcement vehicles down at the end of the street here, and I mentioned the police who were here just about a half an hour ago. We'll be back just a little bit later on with some final thoughts from Kenosha. Reporting live, I'm George Smith. Let's go back to the studio.
George and AJ are still standing by, and it's largely a peaceful night in Kenosha, George.
Yeah, that's right, Amber. No violence that we've seen so far, but just about 45 minutes ago, we did see a little bit of drama. A woman from Madison taken into custody. There was some arguing going on between groups out here. Police pulled up and took her away. You have some insight about this young woman taken into custody.
Yeah, you were able to get your phone out and were able to capture the arrest as the young lady was being led out to the squad car.
And there's no question that a lot of business owners and a lot of residents in this area are relieved that this is over for now. We'll keep monitoring the situation. Behind us, again, things have been relatively calm other than one woman being taken into custody. Let's go back to the studio. Amber, a quick update. Let's take a look across the street. Earlier, we told you about a woman who was detained. You can see the colorful hat she's wearing over there, a woman from Madison. She's back now. Just about an hour ago, the sheriff's office took her briefly into custody. They brought her back. She told us that she was writing in chalk across the street, "White supremacists are cowards." She was detained, given a citation, and now she's back over here. Again, no violence out here tonight. People out here chanting, but otherwise it's been relatively calm. Live in Kenosha, I'm George Smith. Back to the studio. We are live on top of the Lyric Building in downtown Madison. What a gorgeous view out here. And for the first time in 15 months, there are no public COVID-19 restrictions in southern Wisconsin. That means for the most part, things will start to look like they did before the pandemic began. But not everything will be back to normal. Businesses are still allowed to set their own rules going forward. For some, it's a tough choice, but for others, it's a no-brainer. Jennifer Cleasy is live downtown with more on some of what the businesses are doing. Let's talk about schools. Schools will also be setting their own guidelines on masks. Local health officials and the CDC are still recommending schools continue to require masks because many students are not fully vaccinated yet. Mount Horeb Superintendent Dr. Steve Salerno says that's what his schools are doing for the final week of classes. COVID-19 restrictions are ending across the state. People are looking forward to returning to some of their favorite summer events and activities. Let's start with the Dane County Farmers Market announcing its return to the Capitol Square after a year away. It had spent the past year at the Alliant Energy Center operating as a scaled-down event. The first market back on the square will be June 19th. Organizers say vendors have been waiting for this moment for months. The last two markets at Alliant Energy Center are June 5th and June 12th. Now, more people will be able to enjoy concerts on the square this summer. The event will stay at Breeze Stevens Field, but it's increasing capacity from 1,500 to 5,000 people per show. Tickets go on sale this Friday. And if you visit any state parks this summer, it will feel like it did before the pandemic. You'll now be able to purchase admission stickers at the property entrance. Concession stands will be staffed, and visitors will be able to rent kayaks and purchase firewood. But there will be some protocols in place to protect visitors. Most drinking fountains will be shut off for safety reasons, but water filling stations will be open. A lot of things for all of us to look forward to, and it's about time. Amber, let's go back to you. That's right, Amber. 5 people are dead, killed by a co-worker. The shooting here led to chaos throughout this area. Police raced to the scene. Employees were scrambling. Schools nearby were locked down. Now, all of this happened just after 2 o'clock this afternoon. As you mentioned, this was actually the staging area where police were just a few minutes ago, and it just opened back up a little while ago.
George is still down at the end of State Street that's near the UW-Madison campus. What have you seen in that area?
That's right, Jen. Right now, I'm right across from State Street Brats, and right here you can see some of the damage, the aftermath of what happened and when those protests got a little out of hand. You can see all those windows over there by Urban Outfitters broken out, and actually a couple of people over there sweeping up some of the damage. You can see across the street 2 police officers from Madison who are standing by, making sure that nobody goes into that business and tries to loot anything.
Madison police car on fire right now in the middle of the street. Nobody is tending to it right now. I'm trying to see if there are any firefighters nearby, but it's been burning for the last probably 5 or 10 minutes. Again, it looks like at any moment it might explode.
All right, Jen, we're down here just off of State Street, and we're by the Overture Center for the Arts, and you can see right here the graffiti. This is what's been happening. We've seen this kind of thing all over downtown. Let's take a walk over here, and let me show you something else. Along this wall on the side, you can see "No Justice," the graffiti here. And just down the street, you can see all the police officers that have blocked off this area.
For now, though, we want to check in with George Smith, who's at the other end of State Street. We hear you're at one of the businesses damaged, George.
Yes, Jen, we're at Princess of India, a store here that's been damaged, and I'll show you in just a minute all the damage here, but we're here with the owner, and tell us your full name again.
I'm the family member, actually.
Family member, I should say.
My name is Mayar Maktabi.
And what happened here?
I just got a call that the shop is being, like, broken into. I came here, and then I'm seeing the window that's, like, it's the window display was broken, and then I get another call from my restaurant. There was, like, the patio is flying all over. When there I couldn't save anything from it, just like it's out. They called me again here. They were like, okay, the shop again is just like, your family shop. I came here, and then as you can see, they took almost, they break the window, the jewelry display, the window, the safe, and all the cash in the register. If you can see over there, they just was taken. I think a lot of merchandise went out. When I'm coming here running, I couldn't even say anything, other than just guys, this is a small business. We barely made it from the pandemic. We barely made it. Now we start to breathe. And then we get this damage, the patio, this shop, what we should do right now. And there is no way you can say no, because our safety is more important. I came here, I saw a lot of people. I just tried to, guys, we support everybody, but that's not in the right way. And then some of them start to throw the merchandiser, and some of them start to take, by dozen and get out.
So you got here and there were people in the store stealing.
Yeah, just we couldn't say nothing.
You opened up just a couple days ago after being closed about 3 months? Is that
Almost 3 months. Almost 3 months. Yeah, we're closed, and we barely made it. We barely made it.
How frustrating is this to you here?
We're done. People who survived the pandemic, right now they're done. With this loss, we cannot do nothing. We cannot do anything other than we leave it to the God. Let me say it that way. Yeah. The God, He's the only one who can help us at this point.
When did you know everything was going on down here?
It was since morning, but everything was quiet. Since I moved to the United States back 7 years ago, protesting in here, it's the most calm protest. People are just coming here, saying what they want, and they walk away. I never ever seen that violence in the United States. And in Madison, I would say, let's say in Madison. Mm-hmm. But why? What did you guys got from it? This is, guys, it's all of our business. This is your business, guys. It's if we didn't help local, we are, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. State Street already been hurted. If you look at State Street, it's been hurted. The pandemic killed a lot of business.
Yes.
And now we are, we got one more pandemic. And God knows if we're gonna be able to open tomorrow with all this lost. I don't think so we're gonna be able to be open.
You said you moved. Where'd you move from?
I'm from Dubai. I'm Syrian refugee, actually.
Okay.
I'm a Syrian refugee.
And your family's had this business how long?
My family been here since the 70s. Since the 70s. They own several business on State Street, my aunt, my uncles, and then I own Dubai restaurant. They own they do pretty good at this. Yeah, but this is the first time I'm seeing it. Message
for the protesters out there.
Yeah, let's go back 20 years ago. We used to love each other. Let's try to love each other. We are all against what happened, but let's leave it to the justice. Let's leave it to the law. Law can help us. We cannot do anything.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Jen, that's the situation, and we're hearing a lot more noise outside, but you can see the terrible damage here, and as you just heard, we're not sure, the owner, the family member, I should say, is not sure if this business will be able to open up again. We're going to head outside here and just take a look at what's happening out on State Street, and you can see, again, right here, this window shattered. Lots of protesters still in the street. We're just about a block and a half or so away from the Capitol. We're now on State Street and where Tutto Pasta is, if you're familiar with this area, and you can see there's still a lot of people out here in the street. And again, what I've noticed is that some people here are just enjoying a nice day. Some people are curious about what's going on, but there is no question there are some people that are just looking for trouble. They're out in the shouting and cursing and looking to do some damage. So that's the situation here. We will update you as soon as we get more information, guys.